I was someone who was more so along the lines of respecting the stories and the traditions of ghost stories and that sort of thing. I went to a really old high school in Florida, and there were legends and rumors about different ghosts that we had in our high school.
There's been a couple experiences that I've had paranormally in Falk. A couple times I would be recording things just with friends, and then we would go back and watch videos, and we would see that there was orbs or silhouettes of people just kind of floating there.
So fall of my freshman year, I was in a production called The Arsonists, and there was a lot of red on the stage. And if you're familiar with Bessie's story, red is her signature color, and it is very taboo for any of us to be wearing it or using it in theater, anything along those lines. We're supposed to stay away from the color red, especially women.
We were striking a set, no one else was in the theater, and it was just a small group of us, and we heard a round of applause. And when we went to run from, we were like, who's there, who's there? No one else was in the theater, it was just us. So Bessie was a vaudevillian performer, and Bessie, unfortunately one day, she was dating a guy, and they were in the show together. His dressing room was on the opposite side of her, so she walked down to go see him before the show and wish him good luck, and he was cheating on her with another woman, and the girl was wearing, it's either Bessie was wearing red or the girl was wearing red, and Bessie decided to take her own life, unfortunately, after seeing that.
During Little Women, my sophomore year, there was an incident backstage. If you saw the show, there was a giant piece of driftwood that was used as a set piece, and I played Aunt March, who had some of the most beautiful costumes that I've ever had a chance to wear on stage. But I had crinolines and hoop skirts, and I was wearing 6 layers on top of a corset, heels. I was a force to be reckoned with. I was very massive on stage, and they moved the driftwood to a place that it wasn't normally moved during our Saturday run of the show, and I came off stage and it's pitch black. There weren't any black lights backstage to help the actors see, so we were just supposed to kind of know our path, and I started tripping over the driftwood, and I could not catch myself, and someone grabbed the back of my costume and pulled me upright. And I turned around and I didn't see anyone immediately, but it was dark, so I was like, okay, maybe someone just before they were getting ready to make an entrance. And then after the show, I went and asked her, I was like, hey, thanks to whoever caught me, and no one came forward and said, oh yeah, no, I've got you. During a couple runs of the shows, I was backstage with our stage manager, and we were on the side of the stage next to the tool room, and one of the tools in the tool room turned on. And this was all just in one production. I've done a couple of different shows at UT, and she's always made herself known. I was doing sound for a show, and me and my friend started to pull around and call for Bessie and try and record her, but in a very mocking tone.
And apparently, like, Bessie does not like to she likes to be respected rather than, like, kind of poking the bear. So we were recording this thing, kind of, teasing her a little bit. And then after we stopped recording, everything, the sound and the projection screen for the show just shut off immediately as we stopped recording. And we said, sorry, Bessie, sorry. And then everything turned back on.
So anytime that there's new people in the cast, we always make sure that they know the traditions and the history of Bessie once they get involved in a production.